Libra, welcome back to Leaping Lotus Tarot. My name is Addison. If you're new here, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I hope you find a message that resonates for you. I'm going to jump into a Libra reading right out the gates here. I'm going to start with an oracle message, maybe even a couple, we'll see. It's been a few weeks since I've done a Libra reading. I'm so sorry. But we're getting you fixed up here. We're going to do you right. We're going to do you right, Libra. What does Libra need to hear? Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. So you may be actually noticing some synchronicity around you at this time, whether you're seeing things on TV or hearing certain songs or seeing number patterns, seeing certain animals over and over, like maybe butterflies. There might be something that's coming across in your daily life that is really kind of drawing you to noticing synchronicity. And it's a love letter from the universe. That means like you're on track, you're doing something right, something's aligning for you. You're meant to notice these things, right? So they could be signs from your spirit guides. There are no wrong turns. You can't mess up. No matter what you decide, it's the right path for you. And it's the right path for you because you decided it, right? So let's go ahead and jump right into the tarot. What do you, oh goodness. A lot to say, perhaps even pertaining to that love letter. Maybe you have a love letter either coming your way or something that you need to say. What are you thinking could potentially be the wrong way? What's this decision? Prince of Cups sideways. Oh, interesting. Can I get a little bit more? The Magician reversed. I think you felt like you might have been a little bit deceived by somebody. Like a little bit of trickery kind of thing. Not as far as like theft, like Seven of Swords, but kind of like somebody presented themselves, perhaps a masculine energy, presented themselves with a certain type of, I'm getting kind of like a uniqueness because he's flying in on like a bald eagle looking type of thing, right? But he's only a prince. And so he's coming in kind of like a cowboy. He's coming in with this cowboy hat, but he's got a cup in his hand, right? And so it's like he's got this emotional sort of presentation, or supposedly, but like look at his face. Like, I don't see much emotion there. I don't see much, or if emotion's there, it's very like cold and hardened, right? So maybe somebody presented themselves in a way to you that you thought was more compassionate and loving and turned out to be a little bit cold or a little bit just not what you expected. Because with the Magician reverse too, it's like that can kind of be like a, you know, somebody who's good with their tricks, right? Knows how to kind of put on a facade, make people believe a certain thing, and then isn't really, you know, isn't really doing what everyone thinks they're doing, sort of thing, right? Or, you know, if you think about magicians too, people know that it's sort of a facade, right? But they do such a good job at the facade that people are like, okay, like that's cool. Like you do it so well, like you get a pass, you know. But you're not impressed by it, I don't think. So tell me a little bit more, because that's what you're kind of thinking is the wrong way. So this is the wrong path for you. Is there anything more about that we need to know to get some clarifying? These cards are really wanting to come out in like bulk, which is interesting to me. I do feel like there's a lot to be said here. All right, the Ten of Wands reversed. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Somebody's saying, and the Hermit. So we've had a couple with the Magician and the Hermit. This is some Virgo energy, very interesting. So with the Wheel of Fortune reverse and the Ten of Wands reverse, it's like somebody's sort of done with the, somebody feels done with the burden. Someone feels done with like the illusion of things. It always seems like something maybe in the future. The Wheel of Fortune can kind of be like accepting your fate, you know, kind of like a ups and downs, just kind of surrendering to the ups and downs. And the Ten of Wands is like carrying a bunch of burdens. It's almost like someone with the reversals. It's like someone's like done with the ups and downs, like the unknowingness, the heaviness of it all. It just feels very sort of over it. And then the Hermit is like going within, right? The Hermit's kind of like, you know, the typical imagery is like a masculine standing out in the snow and he's got his lantern, right? The lantern's interesting here because it's like, it's a light, right? This person's in the snow and they've got this one light and they're kind of have this downtrodden sort of energy to them, and they're, you know, they're in contemplation, they're in consideration, but they are holding a light. So it's like they have the answer to their own prayer. And they're receiving support from the universe because there are no wrong choices here, right? As we said in the beginning with the oracles. And synchronicity is a love letter from the universe. So if you're feeling done with something, you're supported by the universe to choose a different path. Can we ask a little bit about this potential other path? Strength reverse. Something a lot simpler. Something a lot more fun, something a lot simpler, something that's just a lot less heavy. There was like a perceived lightness with this Prince of Cups kind of riding on this bird. There was a perceived lightness, a joyfulness that was sort of masqueraded or charaded. Charaded, that's not a word, like charades, you know? It was tastefully presented. And there's an illusion about it. And so you're over the facade, but I want to know more about the journey. Like, what is the new, strength reverse? Like, we know that it's the journey that you'd prefer to be on is one that doesn't require so much strength to carry heavy shit. You know what I mean? That's the ideal here. So, can I know more about the ideal? I don't want to know much about anymore about, like, okay, we get it. You're over the heaviness. You're over the, you know, what do you want? Two of Cups reversed, Three of Cups reversed. I don't know why you'd want that. This could just be a furthering of, this oracle actually slipped off the top. Let me see what this says. See through the perfectly purple lens of your galactic destiny. So you might be feeling like you're destined to do something different. With the Two of Cups being reversed and Three of Cups being reversed, there's something around some sort of partnership here, some sort of collaborative energy that you're maybe feeling is unfulfilled, which is kind of what we've been getting this whole time. But I'd ask what you wanted. And so there may be an aspect of you that doesn't want this connection to dissolve because it is a Two of Cups. Like it's a promise here. Like these two have like their fingers tied together. They made some sort of promise. Perhaps you're in a marriage. You know, they're both holding these cups. They're like, look, like we promised to hold space for each other. We promised to be tied together. We promised to fill each other's emotional cups. But it's reversed, right? And then the Three of Cups here. It's kind of interesting. There's two masculine figures in this one and a young feminine energy. So I don't know if that has some sort of significance to you. I can't really get a read on that interpretation, but that may speak to you in itself, and I may not need to say anything about that. I want to know more about what you want, though. Justice. Okay. You feel tricked. I mean, I really do feel like you want something to balance out here. You feel deceived in a way. It's very interesting that there's not a Seven of Swords here, but that's kind of what it is. It's like you feel tricked in some way. You want justice for it. How would you get justice for this? Because I feel like you were involved in this decision making because you were tricked. You know what I mean? You agreed at one point. Seven of Wands reversed. You just want the conflict to be over. You're done with the battles. You're done with the battles. Queen of Swords. Okay. I mean, this is you, Libra. Queen of Swords right here. This is Libra energy. I'm pretty sure Queen of Swords is Libra. Three of Discs, Three of Pentacles. You're used to being in collaboration with people. You're used to having to be in tough situations. I mean, look at this. You've got you've got somebody's head in your hands. I mean, you're a ruthless, you're a tough broad, okay? You're not, just because you had Strength reverse come out before, it doesn't mean that you're afraid of having to, you know, show strength. You're not afraid of having to be tough. You're not afraid of having to be decisive and a little bit cutthroat and a little bit, you know, like, it's not like you're afraid of having to make tough decisions or carry burdens. It's something about the nature of how this came about, with like feeling somehow tricked or believing in some illusion or something like that that you're not happy about. And so you'd rather kind of be, so like with that Three of Cups reverse, you know, it's like you'd rather almost be with, I mean, look how different this is. Look at this Three of Pentacles versus this Three of Cups. I can't really make clear about what it is that you prefer about this situation versus this situation, but they're very different. And for some reason, you prefer more of this type of situation. I can't even really get clear on that. I mean, other than I can like express that these are some, you know, fit men, okay? And these are some more perhaps effeminate men, and they're associating with a young girl. So I really don't know how to like decipher that, other than perhaps that there's just a different crowd that you perhaps would want to associate yourself with. They're different in some way, and you see an appeal in that more so than you see an appeal in the previous situation where you felt just sort of like your greatest work is your legendary legacy. Interesting. You may be a parent. Legacy might be, you know, your children. Because I'm kind of getting that too with this Three of Cups. There might be some sort of child here. I don't know. Some with your children. And I have it right next to that Justice card too. So there's something about like justice for like a family thing. This is a very complicated energy. Let's see if I can put this back into the deck and see if I can kind of get a little bit more clear here. I'm just going to ask, like, what is like a major message that has not come out yet that we need to know, that I could decipher from? Because I feel like this might be a me problem and not asking the correct question here. I'm just kind of unsure what to ask. Like, I'm getting messages through here, and there's distinctions, and I know where they are. The Moon. Okay. Being called to follow your intuition here. So I guess just kind of how we started in the beginning. I think you already know what you prefer. You already know what you prefer. You know what you'd choose. So why don't you do it? Two of Cups reversed. You are afraid of losing some type of connection. There's a promise here that you made. There's a promise. There's a promise. But your gut's telling you otherwise. Four of Wands. You want some more type of happiness. You want some more fulfillment. You want a victory, which makes sense with the Queen of Swords. Very, very focused on output and logical things, numbers, outcomes, consistency, things that make sense. You know, you're not into all the magic and the woo-woo. Okay, even though you're listening to a tarot reading, right? This is probably on the edge for you, right? This is probably as woo-woo as you get, right? Any final messages? What's your intuition telling you? What is this moon trying to say? Again, 10 of Wands reversed. Your intuition says, I'm done carrying this. 8 of Wands reversed. Look at this masculine upright. He's like, it's almost like he's having an epiphany. That's kind of crazy. It's like he's having this realization about something. And it's reversed. I really do feel like you already know this decision. This decision, you know what you don't want, I think. But there's that 2 of Cups is holding you back. You really don't want to lose a promise, a connection. Your intuition says, you know, I'm done with it. I want to move on. But you're held back by that. Any final words of encouragement? You're protected either way. Please remember that. It's scary, but you're protected either way. I think you're going to leave your legacy no matter what path you take. No matter what preference of people you want to encircle yourself with. You can't make a wrong decision. Especially if in your gut you feel like you're following your intuition on it with the moon. It's funny that the moon came out because that's sort of like an illusion card. And you're kind of also, you know, opposed in a sense to like the illusion that you've been presented with so far in a different circumstance. And so this is almost like a message to you. Don't take this the wrong way, but it's kind of like you might be fooling yourself in some way about believing that something else may be better. But either way, it doesn't matter because you're supported. No matter what, whatever you believe, you know, beliefs are extremely powerful. And you are correct. It kind of reminds me of that saying, if you think you can or you can't, you're right. It's almost kind of like whatever you believe is like, well, that's your reality, so you're right. Ooh, cool. There are no wrong turns. Again, no way, dude. Did you see how much I just shuffled this deck? I mean, I was shuffling that for a good minute while I was talking. There are no wrong turns. That was one of the first 2 oracle cards I got out. And again, synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. These are your messages, okay? These are the first 2 oracles we got out, and we did a whole reading around it. These are your messages. There are no wrong turns. Synchronicity is a love letter from the universe across time and space. You are protected, you are validated, you can't go wrong. Follow your intuition, follow your gut, whatever it's telling you, don't be afraid. You can't mess up. You can't mess up. And the synchronicity is like affirming you, like, yes, 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 whatever that is, it's saying yes to you. Find your star family in this cosmic game of hide and seek. Whoa. Remember what I was saying with that 3 of Pentacles versus 3 of Cups? You are wanting to collaborate with people or someone or whatever. Collaboration and hard work and making things happen is not foreign to you, like I was saying. Find your star family in this cosmic game of hide and seek. It's interesting that it says of hide and seek. I feel like they're right in front of you or they're right around you, but it's like, it's not clear because, remember how I was saying I couldn't tell what, there's something, I hope it's speaking to you. Whatever it is, I cannot figure out what the message was between those 2 other than like the visual depictions, but it felt like the visual depictions, that may be resonating for you, but like I couldn't make something happen out of those, but that's clearly what the message is associated around. Okay, so I was right about that. Cut away from what is no longer needed for you. Cut away what is no longer needed for you. Yeah, trim the branch. Look at that. Trim the branch. Start growing in a new direction if that's what you need to do. Whoa. Okay. Pay attention to the synchronicity though. Whatever it is that you're seeing a lot of, whether it be numbers or patterns or songs, like look that up. Try to, like, you know, if there's certain numbers, like look that up and see if there's any certain messages or if it's a certain animal, or if you're having repetitive things in your dreams, maybe. Write those things down. If they're starting to happen a lot, maybe write them down somewhere and like reflect on them and then like research them later and see if there's a message in there for you that speaks to you. So that's all I got for you, Libra. Very interesting. You're kind of mysterious yourself, all right? All right, well, I hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you next time.